and welcome back to m.m.c. My name's Yvette and this is going to be a little bit different to what I normally do because today is Thursday, been shopping, but it's 10 to 10 at night and I got to do some dehydrating. They're organic, juice, so let me get these washed up and I'll show you what we do. Okay, wash the carrots. Don't throw these away. I'll show you what we do with those in a bit. Next up, let's chop. I won't make you watch all of this. Just like if I fast forward until I've got a load done. Right, we've chopped our carrots and we're just working on the green part. I'm not going to throw them out. I actually use them and I dehydrate them and put them in with my mixed green mix, which has got things like, oh, let me think, lettuce and herbs. I've got spinach in it. Oh, you name it. Turnip tops, cabbage leaves. Everything goes into it, so I don't waste anything. So that sounds nice. That is my compost pile at that big bag, which is virtually nothing. That is my carrot tops that are edible. And my carrots. Right, time to load up the dehydrator. Right. Real technical. Dump them on, spread them around. Yeah, this is how I work. I haven't got time because we're now 10:15 at night. And I've still got to do my greenhouse. So I spread them out the best I can. It will get the better of me and I will end up faffing. I always do. But this is real. This is what happens. This is what happens when you've got 5 kids and you've got animals. You've got your food and you've got to do your evening routines. Welcome to my weird evening routines. Next tray. I won't bore you again with this. I will get them all loaded and show you what they look like once I've done them all. 3 trays of carrots. Next up is the carrot tops. And always drop stuff down there. Yeah, and again. And sorry, a bit that should not be on there. And you can hear my dogs because they want to come do what they want to do. That's a big stalk. That. Right. Dump this on. Really technical stuff. But I will say, because I am doing this overnight, I do reduce my temperature right down. I go on the lowest setting, and that will also help with the herbs because the herbs actually dry quicker than, it's not herbs, carrot tops. They look like herbs. They dry quicker than the actual carrots, so for them to be actually on the top because the heater's at the bottom, that they will be fine overnight. And last bits on. In this house we try to waste nothing. Bear with me while I go fishing for those bits. Here we are. Right. That's that. Yes, my dehydrator has a cracked lid, but it does fine. It's okay. Now normally I'm up between these two, but for tonight, because it's going overnight, I am putting it down there. So that's on 35. I'll let it go all overnight. I'm up early in the morning, so as soon as I come down this will be done. I'll pull this tray off and then I'll whack this temperature up to where it needs to be. One tray left as well. Now the carrots will not be finished overnight. They will finish off during the day tomorrow, they always do. But this dehydrator is on most days. There's not many days that it's not on. And people are going to ask me, why do you dehydrate stuff? Well, it's preserving it. And it's preserving it until I can get to use it. These carrots, once they're dehydrated, will actually go into my soups and stews that I make. The carrot tops will go into my mixed green tub. And that gets sprinkled in to almost every meal. It's literally, I just take a little pinch and shake it roughly. It's roughly like that. Sometimes more, sometimes less. And it'll go in again with the soups and the stews. No one knows that it's there, they can't taste it, but it's full of nutrition. So, next up, greenhouse. So, meet me in the garden. Hi, we're in the garden. Time to put the compost in the compost bin. Greenhouse. Follow me. Okay. Now, really technical stuff this is in here. Where I'm going to drop everything, so just be warned, because it always happens. Right, can you see these terracotta pots? I have 1, 2. These actually heat my greenhouse. Believe it or not, not burning myself. They're candles. Now I need to replace these candles, because I need them to go overnight, just to make sure we have no frost. Keeps them nice and warm in here. And it really only costs pennies to do. Trying to blow them out and light them at the same time. Got to do this on both. Next part's the fun part. Trying to balance it back on. Normally entails some swearing, but didn't that time, so that was a bonus. On to the second one. And yes, they are hot to touch. So if you ever do something like these, they're very good, but they're very hot. So please go careful, because they do burn sometimes. My nighttime routine doesn't just finish at 9, 10 o'clock as much as I'd love it to. It just doesn't happen. Now this will keep this normally through the night between 5 and 10 degrees most of the time. Even when we had the snow, this still kept this place, this greenhouse, way above freezing. All my little seedlings. I can't show you now because they're all covered, because I cover them up every night. But I will show you. See probably behind me, all of these. I will show you them in the morning when it's light. So now it's time for me to have my Horlicks and bed. I'm now done. It's probably past 10. It's one done quite early for me actually. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Good morning everyone. It's just gone 8:30 in the morning and I'm in my greenhouse. This is the first thing I do every morning before I even have coffee. So lit my candles and I'm going to show you the seeds. And here's the seeds, all the seedlings. That's the first one. And now we've got to do the second one. Let them all out. We've got a few there. Now in here we have all sorts. We have salad leaves. These are all different ones. This is mixed spicy ones. This is just salad leaves. This is a speedy mix. This is mustard red frills. That's cauliflower. And if you can see those tiny dots, they're leeks. And then in here we have cabbage primo. We have some Bedfordshire onions. And we have some spring onions and some more spring onions. Right, on to the next one. Let's pull everything off. Ooh, look at this. We have Mizuno, lettuce little gem, and then we have lettuce, and this one's called Freckles. I think this is such a great name, it's brilliant. Cabbage, golden acre, and we've got these ones, sweet peas. Some chuff of them. Right, into my next one. Let's have a look. What have we got? Okay. We have cabbage. These are greyhound. And over here we have Brussels sprouts. I don't know whether you can see. Look at that. Tiny little Brussels sprouts coming on. So not much else is going on in that one. And then in this one, ooh, we have alyssum flower. Let's have a look. Have we got anything else coming on? No, the rest of these are herbs, but they're not up yet. Right. We've got the candles going. Oh, I'm gonna go and place this on there so that keeps them nice and warm. And that one on there. And have we got anything under this one? Let's have a look. No. These are all flowers down there, so I'll cover them back up keep the heat in. Right, next up is indoors. I'm now in the kitchen, and as promised, dehydrator. Here we go. Right, as you can still see, it's on low. Take this off. That looks like it's almost done. My goodness, haven't they shrunk? See how much these shrink? Okay. Just trying to... I'm going to leave these for a little while longer, but I'm going to crank the heat up. And I'm going to put it roughly on 50 and then come out in about half an hour, and those carrot tops should be done. Also, it's this time coffee. Coffee is my friend every morning. Right, well, I'm going to go and drink my coffee, and I will be back and see what else I'm going to do today. Well, I've finished my first cup of coffee. As you can probably see, empty. Next up is second coffee and then vinegars. All those are completed vinegars, and I've got 3 here. It's time to stir. Now, these are homemade vinegars, they're fully edible. Really easy to do, but I use all of mine to clean. But every day you've got to stir them. These have been going, this one here's probably been going 2 weeks, and this one here's probably been going about 2 weeks. The smaller one has only been going probably less than a week. But every day you come in, you stir, and in roughly 4 weeks all told, they're back. Now I need to burp these. To make sure that there's no build-up of gases in there, because they've literally only been strained out probably less than a week. So this is something I like to do for about 10 days after, just to make sure there's no gases building up in them, and we won't have any exploding bottles. My second cup of coffee. Isn't my husband a star? He really is. He's my right hand man. I don't know how I'd manage without him. He knows how much I need my coffee. I'd also like to show you, if I can, in my coffee I have homemade vanilla sugar, homemade coffee creamer that I need to do more of, so we'll have to get to do that in a bit. I have other flavour coffee creamers. This one's pumpkin pie, this one's cinnamon. So let me get all my stuff ready and I will show you how I make my coffee creamer. Right, coffee creamer, some milk powder. I've got full cream milk powder. I like the flavour of this one, but use any one you've got. Icing sugar. Jars. And a bowl. Now, we want roughly 3 cups of milk powder. It's going to be a bit tricky because I'm using camera at the same time. This is a half cup measurement, so that's 1, 3. Okay. On to icing sugar. Pop that in there, that's a full cup one. So it's 3 cups of milk powder, 1 cup of icing sugar. There we are. Now, a whisk. My jar, you'll see it's a bigger jar to my normal one. That's my normal one. And what you're going to do is just decant that into there. Right, I'll bring you back when I've decanted it. Right, okay. Got all of my coffee creamer into a bigger jar. Do the lid. Now that ensures that I've got enough creamer for tomorrow. Now, onto the dehydrator. Let me get set up and I will be back. Right, I am back. I've got my tray off. And let's tip it. Always do it onto paper because it saves everything then. We get all the bits off. There we are. I'm going to pop that in the sink a second. Okay. Next up, compost tub for any stalks. My greens mix, which I'm just going to crump them straight into. Basically that is all I do. Crumple them up with my fingers. And straight in. Right. Now I will bring you back because I'm sure you're going to get bored with me stood down doing this. I will bring you back once I've finished this pile. Okay, all what's left to do is give it a shake. There we are, it's my greens mix. That's what I've got left over. So one thing I will say about dehydrating anything, you must make sure it is hard. These, as you can see, are still soft, they need to go. If you see or feel anything that is even slightly soft, put it back in the dehydrator to finish off. You want everything as hard and as brittle as you can get, because if there's any moisture it will likely to grow mould. Well, that's most of the cleaning done. Been some time. I'm now on my 3rd coffee. It's gone past midday. Not had any lunch yet, but I've got to top up all my cleaners. So here we go, I'll show you.
what we do, I put 3 here. And we do half vinegar, half water. You might be asking, why do I use homemade vinegar to clean? Well, my husband has had multiple surgeries for thyroid cancer. He's a non-smoker, he's never smoked. And when something like that happens to a loved one, you start to think and question everything. Now, I know chemicals are not good for our bodies. They're really not the smell of them, nothing. Are they good at cleaning? Yeah, I suppose so. But I will admit, vinegar, baking soda does just as well as all the cleaners. So I decided after the last lot of surgery that I was sat thinking, while my husband was in hospital and we was all in lockdown, what can I do to maybe help? Is there something that we are using what's causing this? And I thought, well, do you know what? What harm would it do if I made my own vinegars, cut out all the nasty chemicals, and see if that makes a difference? So that is why I use my homemade vinegars to clean everything with baking soda, nothing more, nothing less, even in the toilets, everywhere, every area of the home I clean with vinegars now. Because it just got me thinking, you know, what are those chemicals doing to our body? Inhaling them, getting them on our hands, I don't know, but I just felt it was worth a try. And I feel that we've got nothing to lose by cleaning with natural stuff. So that's the way I went. I thought, why not try? So, anyway, enough of that. And now that's the vinegars. I'm going to go and run and put these vinegars up and away to where they need to be now they've all been topped up. Sit down, have my third coffee, and hopefully grab some lunch at some point, and then hopefully I'll be back to see what I've got to do next. Well, that was quick. Still haven't got lunch, but I went to the fridge to think about lunch and realised I was out of yoghurt. So out come the Instant Pot, and I'll show you how I make my yoghurt. You're gonna need a carton of long life milk, it's UHT. You're going to need a live yogurt. and milk powder. You can make this with anything. Right. I use 2 cartons of milk. I'll show you. Got that one reduced, 32p, with a brilliant date on, which is the 27th of the 11th, 2021. 64p so far at the moment. You're gonna want, I got some dried milk, use anything that you want to. As I said, I like this one, I use this for my coffee. Just gonna do like 1.5. It helps to make it creamy. So say we're on about 70 pence. This is 55, but you don't need a lot of it. Whoop. Yeah, just a tablespoon and a half or 2. Right, give this a good mix up. So we're probably on about what, 80p for all of that. And you've got to remember that's 2 litres of yoghurt for about 80 pence. And I have my cleaning cloth because I am messy. I'm not going to deny that. Right, into the Instant Pot it goes. Switch it on. Now, this is a bit I always struggle with these blinking things. And we push yogurt. We'll do 9 hours, I don't mind it quite tart. And now we sit and we allow the Instant Pot to do its thing. So in 9 hours time, this Instant Pot will be done, and hopefully we've got some nice thick creamy yogurt. And it's that easy. Right. Now I am going to sit and have my coffee. You may have noticed I'm here, there and everywhere. This is just a typical day, week of what I do here. Right, that's my landline ringing, so I'm going to go and take that call and I will be back later. Well, I've had lunch. Now I've got half an hour before I have to do anything, so I'm going to quickly sit, do some crocheting. Hopefully you lot can see it. Right, it's still Friday and it's 20 to 8. I'm looking at my clock and now I've checked on the Instant Pot. I did say it was going to go for 9 hours, but I've actually just checked on it and it looks pretty good. So I'm going to stop it here and then do the next bit, which is draining some of the whey off. So first of all, that's going to keep beeping. Let me switch it off there. Pull that out. I hope you can see. Let's see if I can do this and show you how nice and thick this is. See, and that is whey on top of there, and all we're going to do is strain some of that whey off, and what that will do is thicken the yogurt up. Now you can use whey for other things. I generally don't, but we'll whiz through this. Okay, now I've got all of that into the strainer, and as you can see, hopefully you'll be able to see the thickness is like, I suppose, like a double cream. You can strain it and strain it and strain it, and I end up with something that looks more like a Greek yogurt, but I like it about here. It's what we're all used to, and you can see the amount of whey that we've got off. All of that is whey. So next up is jarring it up. I'm gonna do is finish scraping this out and clean up around the jars, and I'll bring you back when I've completely finished. Right, now it's all been cleaned up. I've lost how many times I've cleaned my cooker today. It's time to jar them up and put the lids on, and into the fridge they will go, ready for tomorrow. So we've got 4 big servings, and 3/4 of a jar. So I will be back in a while. I'm going to go off to do my greenhouse and my evening chores, and I'll come back and we'll discuss carrots and the dehydrator. Last thing on the list. This, will you believe it or not, is 3 trays of carrots that we put on last night. So they're hard. You can see they just do not give. That's how hard they are. Right, now what we're gonna do, can you believe all those carrots last night is on 1 tray now. Now I put them on parchment paper after a while because they fall through, because they shrink to tiny. So I'm gonna jar these up. Almost done. There we are. That huge bag of carrots down to that much. So now they're all cool, lid on, and they can go on my shelf, ready to use another day in my soups and stews. So that's us done, and I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Hopefully having a tooth out Saturday, so we'll see how we go, but hopefully I'll see you on Monday. Until then, good night and happy crafting.